Let's solve MCQ number 1. And in the first MCQ, they are asking us that there is an object, suppose like this, and you are exerting two equal and opposite forces on two different sides of the body. So in this case, this body will have an effect of net force as 0. But if I consider this as an axis of rotation, like the axis of rotation is coming towards me, then this body will be performing a rotational motion about this point. So that means this body is not going to move left, right, up, down, but it is going to stay there and it is going to perform rotational motion. So that means only rectilinear, only rotational motion would be the right answer. Okay, which of these following is a vector quantity? Work is definitely a scalar. Work upon time is power, scalar. Energy is scalar. Moment of couple is basically the sum of two torques, right? And the torque is a vector quantity, so this is our correct answer. What is the correct energy transformation during the burning of candle? Now, if you look at candle itself is a chemical, wax, right? So it has those carbon and all those bonds, and the bonds have chemical energy inside it. Now, when you heat the candle, these bonds, they break. Now, there is a chemical reaction. As a result, we see the flame. That means light energy and heat energy are simultaneously light and heat. Both are liberated. And that is due to the outcome of the chemical energy converting into light and heat. So, C option would be the right answer. Fourth, when a ray of light passes from one medium to another, of course, we know that the frequency does not change. Frequency is a characteristic of source, not of the medium. So this would be the correct answer. I would say that the amplitude is nothing but it's a form of energy, because square of amplitude is proportional to intensity. Intensity is a type of energy. So when ray travels from one medium to another, there is a partial reflection. Correct. So some energy goes in reflection part. So some amount of energy is already lost. Now, whatever energy comes inside has less energy in the denser medium compared to the rarer medium. So, definitely the intensity, energy and amplitude are also going to decrease, and we know about the speed and wavelength as well. So, I would say that frequency, since it is only dependent upon the source, would be our right answer. Ascending order. In ascending order, you should be careful that the least wavelength should be written first. So that means I see gamma rays, then visible and micro. This is the answer. Let's also look at the another one. Okay, now microwaves have a larger wavelength compared to visible. So this is a wrong answer. Gamma rays are shorter. They have shorter wavelength. So this could be the correct answer. But microwaves have bigger wavelength than visible. So this is wrong answer. Microwaves, then gamma rays. No, this should be here. So again, this is a wrong answer, right? Now, question number 6. We have a graph, right? Now, in the graph, what do we have? Effort over here, and load is on y-axis. So that means this load is on y-axis, effort is on x-axis. So slope is change in y-axis upon change in x-axis. So basically, y-axis quantity divided by x-axis quantity, this is nothing but mechanical advantage. That is the answer to the problem. Now, for a real image by a convex lens, I upon O. So I by O is 2 by 5, which means that the image is smaller and the object is bigger, and the image is real. That is only possible. You got to be very thorough with the ray diagrams. Optical center, F, 2F. Now, since the image is smaller, the object must be beyond 2F, and the image is between F and 2F, which is smaller. So our correct answer is object is beyond 2F. A ray of light is normally incidenting on equilateral prism. Total internal reflection happens and deviation. All right. So let's consider a ray which is like this. Now, since it is perpendicular, it will go like this. Now, all angles are 60 degrees. So this is 60, this is 90, so this is 30. Which means if I draw a normal, this angle must be 60 degree because the entire angle is 90. Okay. So since the critical angle for glass is roughly 42 and this angle is more than 42. So of course, by making 60-degree angle, this ray will go like this. Now, if this is 60, this is 30, this is 60 already given. So this has to be 90. So this will directly go straight. Because it is falling perpendicular, it will go straight. Now, how will you measure the angle of deviation? That's quite interesting, right? Okay. So this is our ray. Extend it forward. It was supposed to go in this direction. Now, if this angle is 30, this angle is also 30. So it should go this in this way, but it is going like this. This is the angle of deviation. Angle of deviation is the angle between extended incident ray and emergent ray, right? So this angle turns out to be 60 degrees. And I should be more specific, it is in anti-clockwise direction, but we are not supposed to worry. B option is the right answer. Okay, now electromotive force, terminal voltage. So something like this, you have a resistor, then you have a battery, and you have a small internal resistance as well. Now, some current flows I throughout the whole circuit. Now, this I times the external resistor is recorded over here as V, and this is terminal voltage. External resistor, across that external resistor, all the external resistor, 1, 2, 3, just simply add them up. So that means capital V is equal to I times of R. Now, the same current flows from here. Now, please understand that this is a part of the battery. So here I times small r will be small v, and this is voltage drop. So small v is equal to, I should be saying, capital I times small r. Now the sum of these two voltages is nothing but the EMF. So EMF is equal to capital V terminal voltage plus small v, or let's see what's the correct answer. Okay, they are asking us terminal voltage, that is E minus I times small r. And where is that? Here. That is our answer, option number B. Okay. I can directly see specific heat capacity does not depend upon mass. It is defined for unit mass, unit rise in temperature. So here, okay, now they are giving us a metal piece has mass 5 grams. Heat capacity is basically mass into specific heat capacity. This is 2.5 joule per Kelvin, right? And that is equal to 5 times C. So C goes down. So answer is 0.5 joule per Kelvin per gram. Now, if this is the case, let's find out the specific heat capacity. And see, specific heat capacity is mass independent, right? So my answer should be D option. As the level of water in tall measuring cylinder, this is measuring cylinder, you are constantly adding water to it. So the the air column decreases, and this is the air column which resonates, produces sound. And as you decrease the length of the air column, the frequency will increase. Please check out the relation F proportional to 1 upon L. It is inversely proportional. So which means the frequency increases, pitch depends upon frequency. So water level rises, pitch increases. This statement is correct. The frequency of the sound is inversely proportional to length of water column. No, it is proportional to the length of the air column. So that means I should be saying A is true, R is false. That means C option would be, as per me, should be the correct answer. Now, as I can see very clearly that suppose let me take the battery as 10 volt. That means the smaller terminal is at 0 volt, the bigger terminal is at 10 volt. Okay, let me enlarge this. Okay, now see, that means if this battery is 10 volts, so this is 10, this is 0, and wherever it touches, that becomes 0, and this part becomes 10 volts. So potential difference across this is 10 volt. Since this terminal is at 0, so here also 0. This terminal is at 10, so here also 10. So the potential difference across both the resistance is the same, 10 volts, so it has to be a parallel connection. So this is parallel connection, guys. Okay, what about this? This is 0, so this becomes 0 volt. And this is 10, so this is also 10 volt. and this is also 10 volt because there are no resistors over here. So simply these two are also in parallel connection, guys. So that means both of them, they are having parallel connections is the answer. Okay. Now a radioactive element P emits one alpha particle and transforms into Q. That means I should write down P, right? And what should I say? ZA. After losing alpha particle, which is basically helium nuclei, the daughter nuclei is Z minus 2, A minus 4. Now, see, the electronic configuration in the periodic table is something like this. Suppose if I say I have, let's call carbon, correct? Then this is present in the fourth group. If I pull out 2 electrons, I will be getting 2, 2. That means now the group has decreased by 2. So that means the group decreases by 2. So that means as per me, 2 groups left means backwards of the P. So I would go with D option. Since we are removing 2 electrons, right? And what will be the position? Position is determined by atomic number. Atomic number decreases by 2. So there is a shift in the, what do you call, the group by left hand side, not rightward, because in rightward, then there would be an increase in the atomic number. Okay, now here I have some misprinting over here. This says that you are giving same amount of heat energy. Same amount of heat energy is given to lead, aluminum, copper and iron, provided they have same mass also, right? Then which one will have highest gain in temperature? Which one will attain highest temperature? So basically Q is equal to MC delta T. Now from here Q and M are the same. So Q upon M times C is delta T. Now Q and M are same for both. So the one which has a very, very low value of C will have highest rise in temperature. So I find 0.031 is the least value out of all, which means lead should be our correct answer, right? All right. This one is a tricky question. I'm talking about the 14th one, right? Now, if you are looking from the top, correct, and as per the Lenz's law, if this magnet goes nearer, that means the top terminal would become, I mean, the top part of the coil would resist its motion and thereby becoming the north, which means there would be a flow of anti-clockwise current from the top. So if I write here north, I will have to write down north like this. That means there is an anti-clockwise current. Now, when the magnet slides down, correct, when the magnet slides down, the bottom part, not this one, just behind, that will become north. And the top part will become south. Because if this magnet is going farther away, there will be north pole created which will oppose the motion of this magnet. So the top part will become south. Now the current on the top part will become clockwise. So earlier it was anti-clockwise, now it is clockwise. So anti-clockwise, when the I would go with say option. Moving on to the B part, complete the following by choosing the correct answers. In uniform circular motion, the centrifugal force is radially outwards. So towards the center, wrong, away from the center, along the tangential direction. No, not along the tangential direction. That means tangential means this is the point and this is the tangent, this or this one, which is incorrect. So I should be going with away from the center, and I think radially outward is the most suitable answer, right? But from these given choices, we have this as our correct answer. Refractive index of the medium is independent of, it depends upon temperature. If you increase the temperature of the medium, the speed of light in that medium increases and hence the refractive index decreases. Of course, for different colors, different wavelengths, there is different refractive index, and for the violet light, it is greater than that of the red light. But it does not depend upon angle of incidence. Some students may say, sir, mu is sin A upon sin R. Now, if I change I, definitely mu will change. No. If you change I, R will simultaneously change in such a way that the ratio remains mu as constant, right? Okay, heat absorbed during change of phase depends upon change in temperature, specific heat capacity, mass. So basically during the change of state, Q is equal to ml is what we use. So I got the answer. Change in temperature is incorrect because during the state change, the temperature remains constant, right? So, okay, here they are saying depends upon. So definitely depends upon the mass, right? It does not depend upon specific heat capacity because specific heat capacity is only taken into account when the state remains the same and temperature rises. So mass is the correct answer. It's just like you want to melt 10 kg ice and 2 kg ice. Of course, the heat required for 10 kg ice would be larger. EMF of the cell is greater than, less than, equal to terminal voltage in open circuit. See guys, in open circuit, this is what I feel is you have an external resistor and then you have the cell having some internal resistance of its own. But now the circuit is open. In an open circuit, right, whatever EMF you measure, the same will be the terminal voltage, right? The same will be taken as the terminal voltage because there is no current flowing. I should be saying EMF is equal to terminal voltage plus I times of small r. Since I0, this term can be neglected and E becomes equal to V. So that means that is actually equal to the terminal voltage in the open circuit. Had it been a closed circuit, then you could say that there will be this term which will come into the account. And now since this term is there, which will definitely add up to this to make EMF. So that means V will be definitely less than the EMF value because now some potential drop also occurs in the internal resistance as well. In step-up transformer, NS, number of turns in secondary to that of primary, and that is of course greater than 1 because in primary you have less number of turns, in secondary you have more, then and only then it becomes step-up transformer. So more than 1 would be the right answer. Highest ionizing power is of alpha and highest penetrating power is of gamma. So I should say lowest ionizing power is of gamma radiation. A non-uniform kite is hanging freely. Now when something is hanging freely, guys, they are actually talking about the measurement of center of gravity using plumb line method. And in the plumb line method, the rope goes below, rope passes from the center of gravity. So R is the center of gravity. And since this is non-uniform and since this is stationary, the rope must pass through the center of gravity and that is R. So R would be the correct answer. And in support to your answer, you may write down that the center of gravity always passes through balance point or through, in a plumb line experiment, we saw that it is just below the rope. You may extend the rope and at different points, the intersection of the rope gives you the center of gravity, right? COG passes, I should say, through the extended EXT, END, ED, extended rope in equilibrium. Correct? Okay. Now displacement time graph of a vibrating wire is given. Okay, that means this gap PR is the time period, time taken to finish one oscillation or one wave is the time period, right? So PS actually equals to the time period. How will you adjust the tension in the wire to reduce the length of PR? If you want to reduce T time period, that means you are increasing the frequency. And guys, there is one formula, F is equal to N upon 2L under root of T by mu. Whereas what is mu, that I will explain you. There is a wire whose mass is M, length is L. So mu is mass per unit length, M by L. Now since this wire is under some tension, you have stretched the wire just like guitar string under some tension. Then the speed of the transverse wave produced over here, V, the speed is given by under root of T by mu. This expression you will find it in sound chapter in Goel Brothers textbook or in the concise textbook, right? So if you want to increase the frequency, you need to increase the tension. So that means how will you adjust the tension? So the tension has to be increased. What characteristic of sound is affected by the reduction? Of course, pitch. Pitch will increase because the frequency is increasing. A ray of light enters a rectangular glass slab submerged in water. Okay. So there is this rectangular glass slab which is inside water. So this whole part is water and so on. Now the ray at an angle, the light enters rectangular slab at an angle. So angle of incidence is 55 degree. And then it will go inside like this and it will bend towards normal and so. Correct? Does this ray undergo PIR? The critical angle for the glass water surface is 54 degree. See, what I understand from this question is refractive index of water is 1.33 and for glass is 1.5. So ray cannot undergo TIR if it goes from rarer to denser medium. If it goes from denser to rarer medium, then possibly yes. Does this ray undergo TIR when it moves from water to glass? Okay, that means from water to glass. No, from water to glass it will not. Yes, from glass to water there are chances that it may go. But for that we will have to calculate the angle of refraction, and certainly this angle of refraction is going to be less than 55. Correct. And if it decreases too much, say 50 degree and so, and if this angle is also 50 degree, then this angle, critical angle is 54 and this angle is 50, so it will definitely go out. So in my opinion, I should be saying no, because the ray should go from denser to rarer medium to undergo TIR. Here it is going from rarer to denser. See, it is saying, does this ray undergo TIR when it moves from water to glass? That's not possible. Right? Okay. Adding new conventions, color of the wire connected to metal body, that means this is earthing wire. Earthing wire is, I think, green, yellow. And switch is connected to live wire. Live wire is brown in color as per the new convention. In old it was red in color. Which of the two produces varying magnetic field? The answer is alternating current is the answer to the problem. DC produces fixed magnetic field. State the frequency of alternating current, that is 50 Hertz in India, 60 Hertz in US. Calculate the heat absorbed by 200 grams of paraffin wax to melt completely. So during melting, we are supposed to use Q is equal to M times of L. Mass is given as 200 grams times latent heat is 146 joule per gram. So I should be saying 2 6 are 12, 2, 1 carry, 9, 2 are 2, 00 joule is the answer to the problem. Please mention the unit. If you forget about the unit, you lose marks. Okay. Now copper wire is wound around a steel bar FT. The current is allowed to pass through the coil for some time and then the bar is removed. Draw only magnetized bar FT and mark its poles. Alright, now since the current would go in this direction, copper wire is wound, current is passed. Draw only magnetized, yes, and mark its poles. Trace two magnetic lines. Okay, now see, right hand rule says that the current going up, so the thumb points north. So this is the north. If you have any doubts, there is a video, link is posted in the description. Current going up, use your right hand and this part, and the nails must be pointing the direction of current and the thumb will point the direction of the north pole. So from my view, this side is the north pole. Now if I am being asked to draw only magnetic field lines 2 from north to south. Then inside, please complete the loops also like this. That is the answer. The current flows through metallic conductor for a long time. Okay, definitely when the current flows for a longer time, it becomes hot. The material becomes hot, and due to the resistance, the increase in the temperature, the resistance in metals increases. And the resistivity also increases, because resistance and resistivity are like this, and this increases. There are no changes in this, so this has to increase. So both increases. Okay, this is the same question. Increases. All right. Now, curium is a radioactive element like this. The graph of protons and the number of neutrons are given. Which point in the graph indicates curium? Okay, curium, number of protons is the atomic number. So atomic number is 96. So any one of these three could be curium. And number of neutrons, that means this minus this one. So this is 1, and this is 1, and then 14, 131. Right. So 131 is the number of neutrons. So where would I get this? Did I make any error in the subtraction? Yes. Oh, sorry. 14 minus 9 is 5. So 151. So the number is slightly greater than 151. So here, so P is our answer. Correct. See, because 247 minus 96 is the number of neutrons, and that is 151. Correct. So you will have to analyze this, that the number of protons is the atomic number. So any three could be the correct answer, but 151 neutrons. So P is the right answer. Radioactive CM undergoes 1 alpha decay followed by 2 decay. Which point on the graph indicates daughter nuclei? Okay. So CM is P. Now, since it releases 1 alpha, alpha is 2He4, we get a new element, say whatever it may be. I'm just writing X. So this is okay, X ZA. There will be Z minus 2, A minus 4. Okay, and then followed by 2 beta particles. So atomic number increases by 2. So again we get Z over here, but no change in mass number. A minus 4 and Z, and they are asking us what? State the mass number of the daughter nuclei, and we are being given, guys, I forgot that CM96 is 247. So 4 decreases, so 243, and 2 decreases, 94. But then again this increases by 2, so 96, and there is no change over here, 243. So mass number of the daughter nuclei is 243, atomic number is 96. Which point? And again I will have to see 96 is there, can be possibility of both, but the number of neutrons will decrease. I will have to subtract these two. So what do we have? 43 and 4. 47 is the number of neutrons. 147. So 147 is here. So R would be the correct answer. R. Right?